And we're live. So we are missing our dwarf wizard tonight because he's had an emergency at home, but we will move on without him. Has anyone got any questions before we get started about what happened or where you are or what you're doing?
What day is it?
Who knows? Next question. Who cares? Yeah, does it matter?
I don't know.
Are we still? Last we left it, I thought we were getting ready to head with the caravan south, but we still had maybe a day in town should we wanted to putz about. But I wasn't certain we were ready to do anything.
Yeah, correct. You made your way back to Powerbank Village after getting hold of an item from ruins that had suddenly been unearthed in the Crystal Sands tundra. You have actually managed to spend some time with the item. It was a rod of red wood and black iron covered in sigils with tentacles, scales and eyes wrapping each end. It was warm to the touch. When it was used, it made a very loud echoing boom noise, and something happened to the people near it, but you couldn't figure out what. You've managed to spend some time with it prior to leaving for Uthadern with the caravan, and you figured out that it casts water breathing whenever you use it.
Interesting.
Once per day. So once per day, it can cast a water breathing spell, but when it does it, it makes an incredibly loud noise. And this is the inaugural Pencoast Partners, where I have actually taken delivery of this massive bloody sword.
Fucking sword, man.
That was forged by our very own druid. So thank you, Mr. Roberts.
Quite welcome.
It's very dangerous. So I'm just going to put it down before I hurt myself. There we go. And I've just noticed that because we're missing someone, all of our names are wrong. So just let me fix that. Just by getting rid of them, and everyone can have to come in and ask who the hell everyone is. And there we go. So
we seem to have 2 followers, by the way, on Twitter who seem to be far more interested in the Bardcore than the actual play.
Well, yeah, I mean, Bardcore serious business. I know Pyramid Head seems to think it's some kind of affront to music, but he's wrong about stuff all the time, so that's hardly surprising.
Strictly for the Bardcore.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll put some more on later. I've got some. So yeah, you've got really nothing else to do in Powerbank Village apart from make your way to Uthadern. So
I do have can I go speak to the woman? There's 2 things I need to buy for my character just to make certain that I have them.
Yeah.
The first being, let me just look it up. Yes, yeah. I need a moonseed plant seeds, hopefully. Doesn't say how, and
is
a
this
piece
a moonbeam?
Of yes.
Right,
and
because they don't have a monetary value attached to them, it
cool.
was assumed you couldn't get hold of them easily without having to
deal
without
done.
To spend money. So you spend some time poking around the forest outside Powerbank, and you manage to scrape together some and put them in your
cool
materials
done then
pouch for later use.
I got nothing left to do in town then.
Yeah. So before you make your way out with the caravan, Pandak spends a bit of time talking to Ydarcel, and she actually agrees to teach him a spell that she knows.
Ooh.
It'll take a few days to go through it and to go through all the correct rituals to transcribe it into his book. But he manages, after a few days on the road, to transcribe the Find Familiar spell.
Ooh.
So he now has the ability to summon a familiar, a small animal-sized familiar, which he can use for whatever he wants, really. Okay.
And he has to protect and look after, otherwise he gets seriously ill if it dies.
No, that's not 5th edition. You just need to spend money and some time to get it back.
Oh, okay.
No,
fair enough.
Heta wasn't involved in any way in writing the 5th edition rules.
So. Okay, fair enough.
He can just get familiar with it.
Yeah, he can just get familiar with familiar. Okay, so it takes 8 days on the road with the caravan to make it to Uthadern. It's essentially not very eventful at all. There are a couple of animal attacks on the caravan which are put off by the glass blades. You get quite a good look at Kraravarad, the volcano to the north, as you enter into the Flotket Hops. As you make your way up above the tree line, it starts to get colder. There's a lot more snow up there, and it becomes a lot harder. And on the morning of the last day, you round a mountain into a pass and see a set of massive iron gates blocking off the entrance to a valley. As the caravan approaches, you hear shouts from watchtowers and answering calls from the leader of the caravan, identifying themselves as glass blades and requesting entrance. The doors open up and the caravan is let through. You can see some flies flying around everywhere. You can see some stables and a guard, like a barracks, and a few farriers and shops, but not what you'd expect when you were told there was a city here. Just about 100 meters from the gate, you see what looks almost like a giant gazebo type structure above a hole in the ground. It's about 150 feet across with a roof covered in snow. You can see 4 guard towers on each corner of this gazebo-like structure, and you can see some what look like the tops of staircases. What do you wish to do? You have now arrived.
Okay. Do we need to do anything with the caravan? I mean, are we linked with them in any way, or do they just
so the
leave
caravan is now started to move off towards the farriers and the other the barracks. So you're essentially, you've been escorted here now, and it's up to you to deal with yourselves.
I think it's time to get the lay of the land first. So, is there an inn or something around?
You can't see an inn. You can see farriers and you can see the barracks, but no sign of an inn. Not very many people either. Just the most people you can see are from the caravan that you came in.
Let's wander up towards this hole. I suspect the town is underground. Going underground.
Yeah, you walk up and you notice that around the edge of this hole are spiral staircases descending down. And there are a few glass blades milling around. One of them spots you, looking a bit confused. A dwarven fellow. Good morning. I take it you're not familiar with Uthadern. You look a bit lost.
I'm guessing this is a dwarven city, and the wonders are downstairs.
As with all great dwarven construction, yes.
Any
I'm assuming
local laws we should be aware of or take heed of?
Don't steal, don't kill things. You know,
all normal
stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Any areas off limits or areas where we're not allowed?
Oh, plenty, but don't worry. It'll be quite obvious where you are going to be allowed.
Okay.
You stick to the volition and the deliberation discs, you'll be fine. You might find life a little harder on the grand disc. You don't look like you're the visiting dignitaries type.
Can I assume that as you go further down, the wealth gets greater?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Got to stay near the goal, haven't you?
Thanks, you good dwarf. Very kind.
Well,
we're going underground, guys.
Don't make me come and find you.
Anybody else got questions about what's going to happen? Because it looks like we're going downtown.
I think we're going down.
Way downtown.
Yeah.
We're going down in
just before you go, she says, Master Dwarf, when I was speaking to the clerics in Palebank, they mentioned Moradin's mantle. Is it easy enough to find? And he says, oh yes, Moradin's mantle, the temple. So go through the volition disc, through the door, through the main doors through into the deliberation disc, and you will see built into the left-hand wall the entrance to the temple. The statues. It's easy enough to find.
Good dwarf. Before you go, how many discs are there in total?
Uthodurn is split into 3 districts. The first you'll come into is the Volition disc. It's the oldest. It was the first of Uthodurn that was excavated when the dwarves settled here after the calamity. It's where most people live. There are a few pieces of entertainment there, but it's mostly where people live. Next through is if you follow the main path through the cavern of the Volition disc, you will come to the steel doors that we can use to block off sections of Uthodurn should it become necessary for defense. If you go through there, you'll end up in the deliberation disc. People call it the liber disc. That's where most of the markets are. Most of the trade and commerce takes place there. Lots of entertainment venues can be found in the deliberation disc. Once you go through there, the final area at the bottom, well, currently the bottom of Uthodurn, is the Grand Disc, where the Ludenbrock mines are situated, and the Grand Cask Cathedral is also down in the Grand Disc, and that is where all the city's rulers live. And where
Might I ask who rules Uthodurn?
Yes, you can.
And what structure of government they have?
So Uthodurn is a diarchy. So it was originally settled by the dwarves after the calamity, but after Molasmia fell, the elves were wandering, and quite a lot of them made their way here, and you would think that would usually precipitate a fight for control, but the dwarves recognised fellow beings in need and allowed the elves to come in and make their home. And ever since then, Uthodurn has been run jointly by dwarven and elven rulers. And just let me look up my things, and I'll tell you who they are called. It's in here somewhere. In fact,
Are these diarchies noble families? Don't feel you have to answer this. I'm just trying to get some background. Are they noble families or are they elected individuals?
no, they're not elected. It's
okay. So these are double monarchs. All right.
So it's Queen Simone Frunast, Queen of the Dwarves, and King Imathen Talvil, the Elven King.
Anything going on between them?
Good little nose of that fella.
Sorry?
You know, we tend to not really pry into what our
okay, fair enough.
up to.
Cool.
I'd be careful with that kind of talk, to be honest, especially
okay.
the lower you get. On your way. And he
fair enough.
Walks off to the caravan, shaking his head.
No.
Okay, so what would you like to do?
Well, I don't think there's anything up here that's going to interest us. Should we head in?
Yeah, let's head on down.
Head down. Yeah. Let's find an inn. Time to sort of wash the road from us.
So you pick one of the staircases and you descend it. You descend the staircase. It descends into a semi-domed area about 100 feet across, and you already notice as you go under that it's much warmer down here than it was outside in the elements. It smells like wet earth, burned wood, soot and iron. Around the bottom of the area that you descend into are barracks built into the walls, and balcony pathways all around this pit where the glass blades can post up and defend this area should they need to, should anyone decide to come down. And you can see off to one side some stairs going down into an opening.
Okay, but are we in the first district effectively? No.
No. this looks like a defensive position.
Okay.
You can see people now moving into this tunnel. So the stairs continue into a very wide opening that leads to a central 30-foot wide road known as the Auger Trail, which is roughly hewn with numerous pillars that rise up to meet the ceiling to both maintain the weight and give it a grandiose, massively scaled grand hall feel. As you pass through this area, it opens up into a massive 120-foot high by 1,500 foot wide underground cavern. It's filled with buildings forming an underground neighbourhood that continues to descend and curving like a gargantuan auger spiralling into the earth. There are mining works off to the far right, and to the left there are other residential buildings in both Dwarven and Elven styles.
Can we get a rough idea of how many people live in this city? Are we talking tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands?
Tens of thousands of individuals
Okay.
in the city. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an awful lot going on. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
Ask a passerby where the nearest inn might be found that travellers may get a drink.
Nearest?
Yeah.
You ask a little an elven fella that you just grab as you walk past. Well, just over there, there's the broken stool. Yeah, yeah, that's the nearest.
And would you recommend it?
Best. I mean, I live here. I don't generally stay, but.
Well, where would you recommend fellow travellers find accommodation?
I mean, there's more places in the deliberation disc, to be fair. Most outsiders find themselves down there, especially if you're not Dwarven or Elven. That's generally where those people
Okay.
end up going.
What about for humans?
We don't honestly get a load of humans here. I mean, I'm sure you're absolutely fine, sir, but you might find people tend to treat you with a bit of distrust, only because we've had a little bit of trouble with the humans from Shady Creek in the past. So, I mean, you will find a few humans down in the deliberation disc. Probably the tumbling tankards is where you'll find most humans.
Okay. Does your Dassel have anywhere that she needs to be in here? Because
she said yes. I'm going to find Moroni's mantle. Moroni's mantle is essentially the big temple to the Allhammer. This is what the people who were in Powerbank were working with. So I'm going to make my way there.
I'd like to tag along, actually.
Yeah,
I'd
I mean, does she want us to go with her, or is she trying to get away from us?
So, no, I mean, you're certainly welcome to go along. In fact, I probably do need to at least find a way to keep in touch with you should our paths diverge here, in case I find something that you might need to know. I mean, obviously, our situation is linked, isn't it? So, yeah. In fact, she bats around in a pocket, pouches, and pulls out what looks like a river polished stone, a grey stone with a white stripe running all the way through it. And
cool.
she hands that to Pandak and says, with this, you should be able to talk to me whenever you need to, and I can also use it to send messages to you. So you keep hold of that, and yes, but if you want to come with me now, it's absolutely fine. I don't mind you coming along with me to the mantle. Again, just to repeat, if we can keep the whole nature of our situation to the minimum number of people, I think that would be better. Obviously, I'm going to have to speak to some people about this, but the fewer people that know, the better, I think.
Okay, we get the drift. Okay. Well,
So,
she's going to have to go through the middle disc anyway before she gets to where she's going, so we might as well tag along with her and see if we can spot anywhere.
Yeah, Moradin's mantle is on the deliberation disc. So
Okay.
you pass through the volition disc, You can see some dwarves and elves going about their daily business, and you do see the occasional place of business, and at least one tavern, which you assume is the Broken Stool. You can see it's got a sign up of it might be a broken stool. You can't quite tell at this distance. And as you approach the end of the Volition disc, you see these giant 150-foot gate, and you can see where it's been cut into the rock, some runners, and right at the top for the last 20 or so feet you can see the bottom of a gigantic steel door with spikes along the bottom, and you assume that is the defensive formation that you were informed of above. There's no one guarding it at the moment. There is a couple of guards milling around, but no one seems to be actively manning it. It does look like it's for siege defense rather than day-to-day access control. So you make your way through into the deliberation disc, and immediately you can see this is a much wider open space than the Volition disc, and instead of being lined with houses up against the walls, it contains lots of open market squares with stalls in the middle, and sort of surrounding it on the outside a bunch of buildings which you assume to be blacksmiths or shops or other such things you might want to do for your commerce. Off to the left hand side you can see a statue, and it's something that Pandak recognises. Pandak actually grew up in Uthadern, and he recognises it as Moradin's mantle, the temple to the Allhammer.
How do they deal with like airflow? I mean, it must stink a bit down here.
It is a bit musty, but you can see that the ceilings are so high, and you can see smoke wafting up from various businesses and homes, and it is collecting above the top of the cavern and sort of filtering its way out. It's sort of like a Vegas casino. It's up there, but it just sort of finds its way out, or is there's enough airflow from somewhere else to pull it out of the way, so it's not a bother. But yeah, it is musty down here, and that you can definitely see it's a little bit damp. Some rooms are a bit damp, and there are little bits of moss and lichen and mushrooms and stuff growing in some areas.
Okay. Now, do we want to get somewhere in an inn before we go to the? Is she keen to get to the temple like immediately, or can we stop and?
I am, but I'm planning on seeing if I can stay in there. But feel free to sort yourselves out and come and find me in the temple when you're done. But I really want to get on and speak to them.
Do we have a pressing need to go to a tavern or an inn?
Not really, no. I don't feel.
No, I just thought it'd be a good idea to get the lie of the land.
It is fairly early in the day, so yeah, you're not tired. You don't feel like you need to rest.
Let's tag along with her and see what she can find out at the temple then.
Okay, so you make your way into the temple, and it is actually literally carved into the rock. It's not a building within an area that's been cleared. It is carved into the rock. You make your way in and notice the first thing you see is a grand hall lined with stone pews, and another giant statue of a dwarven warrior with a giant hammer held above his head. And there are a few clerics milling around. Yadarsel goes up to one of the clerics and says, "Excuse me, is the High Priestess available?" The cleric looks at her, and a dwarven female, and says, "Yes, may I ask, is she expecting to see you?" Yes, I sent a message from Palebank. I believe Kufabella is expecting me. Okay, very well. If you go to the back and through to the right, follow the corridor down, and her rooms are at the rear of the temple. Okay, thank you. And off she goes. Can I help you?
Yeah, I grab the same dwarf, and I say, did you or any of your counterparts here have any expertise in curses?
causing or removing?
Ideally removing.
Ah, yes, thank God. Yes, thank the Almighty.
Yeah, no, I'm not just really into curses.
Bear in mind, pretty much everyone here is dwarf, and you're the Goliath, and you're towering over this.
I crouch down, yeah. like squat down, like face to face.
On your knees.
I myself don't. If you follow your friend, I'm sure the High Priestess will be able to speak to you about your requirements and maybe find someone who can help you out.
So she needed an appointment, but I'm allowed to just rock in. I'm just going to be.
Well, I'm assuming you were you not with?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And I run off after you yourself.
Okay. As you go off, you look back and you notice that the dwarf is now running the conversation back through her head and figuring out if she's done something wrong. But before you can figure out what she actually ends up landing on, you duck out. Are you all following?
Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well, yeah.
So Jeff high-fiving the acolyte on the way past.
Good job.
Okay, you make your way down to the High Priestess quarters, and as you can see, Yadarsel has knocked, and as you come up to her, the door opens, and she's let in. You don't get any interference then?
No.
Nope.
I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I think Tom lit up as.
That means it's Tom then.
Was it your phone about to ring?
I don't think so.
Back in a sec, I just need to let dog out.
Okay. Have a drink.
What's everybody drinking?
Nothing at the moment. I think I want to correct that. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go get
just
something.
tea because I forgot to put beer, so I put some in the freezer. So I need to go downstairs and get it soon.
Yeah, this is my UDP 53 homebrew again. I'm nearing the bottom of the keg now.
I need to bottle the cider I put on, just because it's starting to get quite big now and mostly fermented. The coffee mead is quite active.
Yeah, mine went off quite quickly as well when I put the coffee mead in. Although I don't think I think you made your cold brew stronger than I did, but you also made less of it, and then you topped it up with water, didn't you?
I've not done cold brew before, so
Yeah.
I was like following the guide online which says 70 grams per litre. Sorry, 140 grams of coffee per litre, so I basically used a whole pack of coffee in 2 litres, and then by the time everything drained off, it was only 1.5 litres left.
Yeesh. God, that's going to be... But then again, you diluted it, so it's probably not going to be as see the future insane caffeine load as...
Yeah, so I added about another litre of water though. So it's about 1.5 litres of coffee, about 1 litre of water, and the rest was honey.
Yeah.
But I like my coffee strong.
Taste. Well, I didn't want it overpowering. I wanted to be able to taste the honey, if there was any left after fermentation. So
I've never done cold brew coffee before.
It'd be interesting to see how they compare, actually. When they both
I don't like cold coffee, so
I've never understood the appeal of cold brew.
Well, it means you can have a nice coffee when it's really bloody hot.
Yeah, I get. Okay, yeah, I do understand the appeal. I fucking hate it. The idea of like cold coffee is.
It's not so bad if you drink it black. I can't imagine drinking cold coffee that's been made with milk.
You use cream instead.
Yeah, if you want to be super decadent, yeah.
I drink coffee black anyway, so it makes no difference.
Yeah, but if you're having cold coffee, you have to have it with something like cream, so it's nice and cold, and it makes your throat feel like you've had a big milkshake.
I don't like milkshakes.
In fairness, I've mixed coffee with ice cream to make a milkshake.
What do you mean you don't like milkshakes?
I don't like milkshakes.
Let's carry on.
Yeah, it should be aware by now, but Dave is often wrong.
I don't like milkshakes. I physically watching somebody drink milk makes me feel sick. Weird.
Well, that's That's just sorted out the game for the next
So you're
time.
lactose intolerant by proxy.
So tempted to literally just look at the milk out my fridge and just sit.
I am so gonna find some cheese porn for Dave now.
I don't mind cheese. It's milk. I think this goes back to free milk for kids, because when I was at primary school, we were forced to drink milk, and I could never stand the taste of it. So it was like my torture 15 minutes when the teachers went, "You have to drink your milk. It's good for you."
So what you're saying, you actually like Margaret Thatcher?
Yes.
Nah, free milk as a kid were great, especially when it was a really cold day and all of them froze and popped the lids off, so you ended up with like a giant lolly, but you couldn't get into because it was surrounded by glass.
we used to have chocolate.
Oh, I'm
milk.
feeling ill now.
Chocolate.
I'm gonna get beer.
Milk.
I'm gonna get my beer. I'll be back.
Beer,
Derailed.
Like.
See, I go let my dog have a shit, and then this happens. Pardon my French.
Well, good, because the kettle's just boiled.
We will play some D&D, I promise.
Fucking ran off like a cartoon villain.
Yeah.
I'm at the point now where I've had a mullet for about a month now, and I'm tempted to just cut the back of it off, but there again...
Just cut the front off.
So it's just like a rat's tail.
Like a fucking rat tail? Yeah. Get yourself a Dixie flag. You know. Yeah, I need to go to the hairdressers. Like the top part of my hair is no longer than the side parts of my hair again.
See, keep doing that, and no one will go near you at a supermarket. That's the main benefit of having this haircut. Other than the fact that people avoid me because they go, "Why is this weirdo got a mullet?" And it's all to keep you away from me.
I slept on it wet the other night, and I woke up, and honest to God, I looked like Tintin.
Glad to see the content of the stream is appealing to the youth. I'll keep them coming back.
Well, so yeah, I had a shower the other night, woke up and I had MacGyver's hair. It was beautiful. Just waking up like I'm going to make everything out of tinfoil and glue.
Did you change your t-shirt, Dave?
I think
did you have Mr. Grumpy on this whole time?
Yeah.
No, I think he went off the corner, drank down some milk, spilt some on his t-shirt, changed it.
He's committed to this weird bit, and so he's got to now pretend for the rest of his life that he doesn't like milk.
I can't stand milkshakes. Are these people that you see at McDonald's who dip their chips into milkshake?
That's just right.
Oh, I know what I'm doing there.
I saw it on an advert the other day. It's like, Dave.
Do you not like it?
It's
like,
surprisingly good. It is.
Who does
so good?
Who does this?
Although no strawberry, no banana, because they're just wrong. But I will accept chocolate and vanilla, and that is.
No.
I like strawberry.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
Good.
crossing the fence. I'm on Dave's side now. No, that is just sick. Dipping fries in a milkshake. Oh man! Next thing you'll be fucking dipping your nuggets in there, man. Oh God! No.
I mean,
I'm going to regret this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's
Strawberry cream nugget. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so you've all made it to the High Priestess's quarters. You've gone inside, and behind the desk, you notice an elven lady sat there. Please come in. I was expecting yourself, Yudarcel. I've been informed you were coming. Are these are the companions that we've been informed about?
Hey, hello.
like, how tall's the roof? Are these all very tall?
It's surprisingly tall. Yeah, it's
cool.
considering.
So I'm having to walk around with my neck.
No, for a dwarven city, the temple is very grandiose and it is sized to impress. So yes, you're not having to scoop your head under. Yeah.
Please tell me that when we came in, she was doing her nails.
She was not. She was sat behind the desk. There were some books out on the tables, some stacks of papers, quilt and ink. It looks like she's doing some administrative work of some kind.
Well, we'll let Yudarcel have the floor here because she's obviously the person who knows what the hell's going on. But we do have a follow-up question about curses.
Well, I've been informed of the nature of your queries. We certainly do have much more material that you can go through in our library, and you're welcome to do that. Yadarsel, we're happy to put you up in the Acolyte's quarters if that is acceptable to you. I know you wanted to minimise your interactions with anyone else in Uthadern. So, I mean, that's all I can really say for now. You have access to our facilities. So,
does the temple have a suggested inn that it might recommend that we stay in?
Well, we have quarters for our acolytes and for followers of the Allhammer who are coming in to worship here. There are a few taverns and inns on the Deliberation Disc. There's the Tumbling Tankards, which I wouldn't recommend, honestly. That tends to be quite salubrious, I think is the
cool.
word.
Good recommendation. We'll go there.
No, I'm worldly. I understand that you, if you want fun salubrious, then the Queefing Griffin is also here.
Fuck off.
We know where we're going. I know a joke about the Queefing Griffin.
Yeah.
I guess mine will.
Yeah, we're sold. We'll do that one.
They do entertainment, they do music. It's very popular. You can get quite rowdy, but you're not likely to get stabbed and robbed, which I couldn't say for the Tumbling Tankards.
Thank you very much for the information. One of our
Queefing Falcon?
The Queefing Griffin.
Griffin.
I'm going to understand it's some kind of like a fledging ritual where they shed their young feathers and come into their adult plumage. I believe that's the reasoning behind the name. It's very beautiful, don't you think?
Yeah.
I'm sure the Bard has a song about it.
Like
Jeff knows a lot. So that's what you mean by queef, Jeff.
Cammy's looking like
I've always wondered.
There's clearly a language issue here. There's like some translation between Dwarven and Common, and there's just something lost.
We're off to the Queefing Griffin, but before we go, we have a question: whether or not your senior clerics know anything about removal of curses. Upon our travels, we seem to have come across an item which may be doing one of our party some ill, and we're wondering if you know anything that might help.
As he's talking, I unsheath my axe, blade
He's
down.
He's not going to kill all of you.
Blade down, so it doesn't look like I'm wielding it, and I kind of brandish it a bit, and I say, "This axe, I can't get rid of the axe, and it has some unpleasant kind of effects, and ultimately he's going to put the rest of my friends here at risk, and it seems I can't get rid of it, and I believe it's a curse. I believe there's a curse affecting it. Do you know anything about curses? Do you have peers or subordinates who would know about curses? Do you have a convenient library of how to get rid of curses on axes? That would be perfect.
We certainly do have clerics who are talented in removal of such curses and such things. Absolutely. If you follow me, it will go through into the research area in the library, and I believe one of my colleagues will be in there, will be able to help us. And she gets up and you follow her out of the door. You go down the corridor a little way, through a door into like the entranceway into the library. Yadarsel, this is the library that we spoke of. Feel free to look over anything you wish, take down any notes. All I ask is that you don't remove anything from the library. Certainly not without asking permission, but you're welcome to take copies of anything that you need. Yes, let me just get a name.
Yeah, I didn't introduce myself either. I'm like, hello, I'm Goliath, man with axe.
Yeah. Okay, Brangram, please come here. This Goliath friend here, Camney, was it?
Camney.
He seemed to have come across a cursed item. Maybe you could take a look at it. Yes, absolutely. He looks a bit put out that he's been taken away from the books he was looking at. You bring it over here. I'll have a look at it.
No, because I can't.
So he's sort of got his hand out.
And I'm like, you've misunderstood. The curse of which I believe is affecting this. I can't give it to you. I can't discard it.
Yes. Can you put it on the table, maybe, and loiter?
I tried to put it on the table.
Yeah, you can put it on the table.
Cool.
Although you got
I tried to sprint out of the fucking room.
you don't want to leave it. You sort of stood there, and you got like an urge to maybe make sure no one else gets it, but you're quite happy having it on the table.
I mean, what happens if I try to fucking walk away?
You find you can't. You want to.
Just completely can't. Okay.
You just can't.
Literally can't. Okay.
It's not like you're paralyzed, but you just can't motivate yourself to actually move.
Overriding constantly.
Yeah,
I make shadow puppets to distract him. Here, look over here. It's a squirrel.
Like when you go to the doctor and he's like, look over here.
Right, so the cleric is poring over it, and he's like, yes, mutters some words, moves his hand across it. Yes, it's your standard berserk curse. You're right. It won't let you let go of it. Probably makes you a bit angry as well, doesn't it, fella? Hey,
a little bit.
Angry. Yeah. Well,
I can't tell.
We've got a bit of a good news.
Yeah, it's like a fucking Tuesday, so it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah. Like a bit of a good news, bad news situation, depending on how attached you are to this axe. So it's magical. I'm sure you figured that bit out. It's a lot more effective than your regular axe. I can't get rid of the curse on the axe, but I can break its link to you. So,
let's do it. Yep, let's do that. That sounds like a good choice.
Okay. High Priestess, I'm sure you're aware of the issues around. Yes, yeah, absolutely. So,
what?
Normally, we would be happy to provide this service. We would ask you for a donation to the temple, and we will sort it out, no problem. The only issue we have at the moment is that we had a break-in a few weeks ago, and some of our items were stolen. Some of them we would use in the ritual to get rid of this curse for you. So currently at this moment, it's simply something that we can't offer until we've managed to source some replacements for our rituals.
Cool.
I wish the wind to play. Wah, wah, wah.
We have glass blades, no, but they're more interested in city defense, and if it's not a big obvious fight or murder or something serious, they tend not to be that motivated to find out who committed these sort of crimes.
Okay,
if you,
I kind of cut him off. Like, 2 questions. I'm a man of action. 2 questions. First question: what are the things that you need?
Okay, well, as far as need, there was an inscribed chalice, but along with the chalice was stolen a ceramic plate inlaid with gold, decorated to honor our god.
And you need those to do the ritual or whatever?
Technically, we just need the chalice, but we would be
cool.
grateful to you if you could return both.
Is it a specific inscribed chalice? Or could you get another chalice and inscribe a new chalice?
We are researching constructing another one and enchanting another one, but the expense and time involved to do that
It'd be quicker to get
much quicker if we could recover the original than the 2 months or so that it would take to re-enchant another one. We honestly thought we were going to have to go down that route. It's sad that they're gone, but we had no real need for them up until yourself.
Question number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you suspect that it was stolen by your, shall we say, neighbours, people who live in Uthadorn?
We believe so, yes. There are some.
Do you have any leads?
Organised crime. I know there is organised crime in Uthadorn, even though the Glassblades do their best to.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Oh, we're going up against the Dwarven Mafia.
Camney has always wanted to live out his dream of being a private investigator, and this is the perfect opportunity. Like, Camney the PI is the shit. So, do you have any leads? Do you have any idea maybe who specifically would be responsible? Can you point us in the right direction of someone I can bash and get your things back?
I'm afraid
I'm trying to remember the tune to Quincy now.
I can't give you a name. All I can think is I suspect that this kind of crime is usually committed by the seedy underbelly of Uthadorn. We have had infiltration, and I know that the criminals in Uthadorn have been influenced by the tribes of Shady Creek, and I know they're trying to extend their influence into Uthadorn. So,
if we were to obtain these items from the underworld in some manner, would we be able to come to some arrangement to have the curse removed on our friend?
Absolutely, we would do it free of charge if you were to manage to return our
that sounds like a bargain.
Yeah.
I have but one last question. Your superior, the head.
Sorry, you are currently talking to the High Priestess, by the way. I thought you.
Oh, okay, we're still talking.
Yeah,
okay, cool. That's fine. You mentioned you earlier advised us against going to a rather salubrious establishment. However, if we were to perhaps head to that establishment, would be likely to run headlong into such shady characters?
The tumbling tankards? Yes, yes, you probably would, yes.
Grand. I kind of look around the rest of the party. I'm like, cool. I've got what I needed. So.
Okay, I can see we've got a few. Does the giant exclamation mark above her head now disappear?
Yes.
Good.
And now in the corner of your screen it has locate plate, locate chalice, 0101.
Okay. Cool.
Are there microtransactions? Can we just buy the?
I'm just waiting for you to put on a trench coat.
If I had one, I absolutely trench coat, fedora, the whole shebang. You know.
You walked into my office. She had legs up to her armpits.
Well, I'm thinking of Dick Spanner.
Does this mean we're not going to stay at the Queefing Griffin?
Did you say Dick Spanner?
Yeah, Dick Spanner. Do you not remember Dick
Spanner? Yeah. See.
Right. In that case,
we're gonna go solve the case.
Let's go find a pub and some trouble.
Yeah, I mean, unless you guys have anything else you'd particularly like to do, I'm quite, otherwise, we're about to tumble head first into some crime.
That's fine, man.
Pissing off the dwarven and criminal underworld seems to be, on par with the course at the moment.
They also, she mentioned, like, if we all kind of head outside, I guess we're like, okay, thank you very much for the information. When we find these things, we'll be back. If you could let your Darcel know, we will be coming back through. So if she worries about where we are or anything,
yeah, absolutely, I'll let her know. And you're also welcome in the temple at any time.
Grand. So if we head outside, did we, as a party, with the exception of Davil, did we know about his relationship with Shady Creek or anything like that? With obviously there was the two guys, but did we know he had any?
So as far as what your characters know, I don't believe Davil has ever said anything openly.
Cool.
You've just noticed that he's been spotted by bandits a couple of times and seems to have some understanding of.
Cool.
Yeah, he's good with locks, so you kind of put two and two together.
But Camney's dumb, so he can't put two and two together. So
okay, Jeff probably figured it out.
But... I'll lead the way to this tumbling tankard. Do we know where it is, or can we I'll just start asking people on the way?
You don't. You can ask around if you want to.
Okay, I call her a random dwarf or elf, whoever's nearest. Hello.
Morning.
I'm looking for the tumbling tankard.
Fuck me, you're massive. The tankard.
I was born this way. The tankard.
I mean, are you sure? Because you could probably handle yourself, but
yeah.
You sure you wouldn't want to go to the Griffin instead? It's a much nicer place.
You see, it's funny. I asked where the tankard was, and now you're trying to tell me where the Griffin was.
Oh, good. Okay, calm down. Make your way back up towards the entrance to the Volition Disc. Just as you come into the Deliberation Disc, there's some alleys off to the left. If you go down there, turn right, turn left, go to the back wall, tankard's down there.
Thank you very much. And I give him a silver piece.
Oh.
Wow.
Nice.
And then we'd leg it.
Great. Looks quite confusing.
Am I right in thinking that you only wear a loincloth as well? So, dwarves,
No,
you cannot stand too
you're wearing armor, aren't you?
Yeah, I actually have a half plate because because when I did my point selection at the start, I didn't go heavy on dexterity like you usually would with the barbarian, and went up on charisma so I could get persuasion and influence, intimidation bonus. So I need the armor basically.
So you were min-maxing basically, yeah.
But not min-maxing, min-maxing really poorly.
Yeah.
Like drunk rolling. Yeah.
Are you making your way over to try and find the?
Yeah, we'll follow his instructions.
Yeah.
Okay, so you make your way back up to the entrance to the Volition Disc, and you see off to your right, which will be the left if you're coming in from the Volition Disc, you see some buildings. You see a shop with a sign above the door with a cauldron, and it's in Dwarven. Panda can read it. It's got the words Ninkum Soup. Looks to be a soup shop, you assume. And there's an alley that runs down the side of it. You make your way down there, following the directions. You're definitely feeling a lot less safe the further you go down. It's not brightly lit like the rest of Uthadern is. There's a very, very small amount of foot traffic, and you eventually do find your way to a rundown inn, built right up against the back wall, and it is the Tumbling Tankards.
Is there anyone outside? Is there outdoor tables? Has it got a bit?
No, there's no outdoor tables.
Okay.
Is he ever European?
There's nobody outside.
Yeah,
there's nobody outside either.
Heaters, parasols.
It's nothing like that. It's quiet. It's dark. There's a little bit of light coming from the windows, but there's no one outside. The door's shut. You can't hear any music or anything coming from inside.
Okay. So there's two. I turned to the party. There's two ways we can play this. I can go through the door, or perhaps our slightly more personable members of our party could go in first, or even our slightly more elusive members.
Well, I have a plan. I would suggest that you are going to cause an awful lot of. You're not conspicuous, all right?
They're gonna notice me.
Yeah. So I suggest you play the mute, and we basically go in, find a quiet table, take stock of the area to start with, see what we can pick up, and see who finds interest in us first. because I suspect we may attract a bit.
I'm happy with that. Do Jeff, Davil, any thoughts? Any additions?
I'm thirsty. I just want a pint.
Yeah.
Okay, so you open the door. Inside, the tumbling tankers is fairly quiet, with only a few dwarven and human patrons currently eating a late breakfast, sort of early lunch. Some tankards of ale on the table. No barmaids to be seen, with a single surly-looking dwarf standing behind the bar, wiping lazily at a pewter tankard as he looks up as you come in. Morning.
And I'll indicate to a table, like to the other three, like to go and sit, and I'll wander up to the bar. 4 tankards.
Right.
And breakfast.
Do you have any food on service today?
Yeah, I can get you some food, not a problem. Some cold cuts and some stew from last night. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
So 4 copper for the. How many wanted the? Yeah, 5 copper for the ale. 5 copper for the food. We'll be right out.
Cool. So I put the money down on the bar and wander over to the table.
So
Places.
Put it under and carries on wiping. And he shouts to the back. Did you bring some food out? People, bring some food out. And he starts grabbing some tankards from underneath the bar and cracking a keg behind it, filling it up with ale for you.
Are we drawing any obvious attention from any of the other patrons?
Give me a perception check.
Bear with me.
Oh, hello, Simeon. Simeon's in chat.
Oh, hi, Simeon.
Hey, dude.
I was in chat, he's left.
Hi, Simeon.
Got bored.
Jamie said hi, left.
We tried to follow the plot, that's why.
Yeah.
He's a busy man.
15 on the perception.
So there's only a few other people in here. There's a pair of dwarfs at one table and a pair of humans at the other. They all seem to be keeping to themselves. You don't notice them taking any particular attention to you.
How are they dressed?
Just like in common clothes.
Are they armed?
They're not armed. They don't appear to be armed. No, they're not wearing armor. They're just wearing commoners' clothes.
Okay.
Are the tankards poured?
Yeah, he's just as you finish looking around, he comes over to the table, bangs down the 4 tankards. Here you go, here's your beer. Food will be out in a minute.
Cheers.
Right.
After he's kind of out of earshot, I'd say I'm certainly not a master of strategy, but I'm thinking here we spend a little bit of money, ease the barman's kind of attitude a little bit, and then maybe one of you slightly more personable fellas go and ask him some questions.
Not a bad plan. Yeah, loosen his tongue with a bit of gold. Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable plan. I'm with that.
Okay.
I think we can all drink, or at least I can drink, so we can drink enough to put some money behind the bar and get him feeling a little more friendly.
Yeah, maybe the bard could play something.
I know a cracking song about a queefing griffin.
That's the competition. They're not going to like that. That's basically singing about Weatherspoons and a.
You could sing an
complimentary.
Yeah, I was going to say it could be an insulting song about them. Yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
what is it you're doing? Are you going to just eat your food and drink your beer?
eat food, drink beer, laugh, look like we maybe we have a bit of money.
Yeah, actually, I'll just a little coin purse, maybe like a handful of silver, a couple of gold pieces. I'm just gonna leave it sitting kind of unstrung on the table.
Okay.
So it's very obvious.
You're being super careless with your money. Okay. No one seems to be paying. No one really seems to want to engage with you. Everyone's keeping to themselves.
Ask the barman, when does it liven up round here?
When everyone gets off work, usually. Early evening. Just after sundown. Yeah.
So most of your patrons are kind of working stiffs.
Question: how do you know when it's sundown when you're underground?
Because we've got clocks and stuff.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, working. Yeah.
Okay.
How long till sundown?
You came in like it's sort of late morning now, so it's about 11 o'clock.
Oh fuck!
So
Let's get wasted.
Yeah, so
day drinking.
You're getting proper day drinking at the moment. I mean, the ale is not strong at all. Not strong at all. It's barely worth the name ale.
Okay, can we make certain that if we are going to do this, we set up in a defensive position, either near the door or in a corner, so that when it does start to fill up, we're not.
I imagine we would have strategically picked a table that was at least in a corner, preferably against like a wall in the corner or something.
Okay. So I mean, it's fairly empty. You managed to get the table. You managed
like
to get the table
booth.
Up the well, there's no booths, but yeah, you managed to get a table up the corner on the same wall with the entrance. So as you're drinking and eating your food, you see the humans that were at a far table finish up, get up, go to the bar, pay and leave, and then the dwarves also seem to hurry their food and then get up and they also leave. So it's just you in the bar.
Just us.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a conveniences? Can I go to the loo?
There's a pot out back. There's a hole through the door.
Okay.
Barman. While we're alone, where does a man of leisure find gainful employ?
You probably want the Grand Disc, mate. Man of leisure, yeah, Grand Disc.
Well, yeah, but maybe let's re-question. I just don't like working for my money. Where might a man like me might find work?
What's really funny is because he's from like several hundred years in the past, so it's like someone from like the Victorian years going, "Excuse me, good sir, where do I find employment?"
Have you heard about these newfangled horseless carriages?
Yes, steam carriages.
Yeah, sorry, mate, I don't know what you're on about. You want money, you got to work for it. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, Camden, did you say you were going for a piss?
Yeah, I like bang the table and I stand up and I leave the money and I wander out to have a piss, head on a swivel, kind of looking, not getting backed into a corner or anything.
You go through the door that he indicated and it opens out basically onto another alley, and you can see up at the back of an alley there's a grate that looks like it empties into some kind of sewer.
Better than Glastonbury, so.
Yeah. Roll me a perception check.
Not too good at those. Told you.
You don't notice anything untoward while you're draining the lizard, or whatever it is that Goliaths have.
I imagine it would be. Fucking hell. 9 foot tall. So yeah, I'll have a little look around, kind of just. Presumably it's just a small alleyway, and there's not much.
No, I mean there's ways out that go around the side of the tavern that you don't notice anything.
No doors with like sliding.
No shifty looking doors or anything like that. No. Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Cool. Even better at those. -1.
Ooh.
Right.
Ooh.
You do notice when you're poking around, there doesn't seem to be anything concealed or anything, odd, but you do notice about just past where the back of the tavern ends. If you follow the alley down a little bit, you notice there's a much larger grating which is locked and secured that you assume is an entrance into the
sewer.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's secured.
Okay. What's it secured with? Like just like a padlock or chains or
chain and a padlock, yeah.
Okay. And they're like round the bars rather than like through like a lock, like a a hole or anything?
Yeah, so the grates have been closed up against like a stop, and then the chain's been wrapped around both of them, and then the padlock's been put through the links of the chain. It's a quite big, hefty lock.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll wander back inside, kind of saunter back over to the table, sit down, and kind of quietly relay about this grate out in the alleyway. Like, if I was going to run a mafia, I would definitely run a mafia in the sewers. Great place to hide.
Fair
Easy
point.
access.
Really covered in shit.
Yeah, it's not very good for burglary if everybody knows where you are because you think.
Well, yeah.
That's a very good fucking point. I take it back. This is why I don't run a mafia.
This is why you're not the brains of the outfit.
Yeah. I just wanted an excuse to bash that grate.
Go for it.
Right, it's probably we've got a
found
while
shit.
to we've got a while to go before we have to try and do it. So what I suggest we do is we find an inn, we crash for a while, and then we go back and get wankered. I mean, not really wankered, but you know, we pretend to be drunk. And
Nicely
therefore see
pissed.
whether
And we limit with what we're carrying just in case we actually get.
So
we
roll.
make ourselves look like targets, shall we say?
Yeah.
Then
I agree with that.
So we throw gold around if necessary.
Yeah. I have a slightly modified plan.
Yeah.
There, those of you in the party who are more covertly inclined, it might make sense for you to poke around, and I'm loud and visible and can distract people while you do so. Do you want to have a look around before we leave
Yeah, but look around where?
the bar and see what the haps is?
I don't know what's quite behind there. I can try and have a look.
Yeah, I don't want there to be a secret trapdoor that pops open and 400 mafia dudes jump out, you know.
Okay, I point out that I'm going to go leak the lizard with Dabble because I have a plan as well.
You going together?
Okay.
Boys, go to the box together. That's how many people are we seeing behind the bar? Is it just a barman?
Just one, just the dwarf, yeah.
So it might be the perfect time to do that. Right. Okay. I shall go and point the pink pistol at the porcelain.
Okay.
As those two go out, I'll take Jeff and we'll go up to the bar and start kind of drinking, like almost like a challenge, drinking back and forth like one apiece.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, when we get out to the toilet, shape of a wolf.
Oh God.
Okay, so you do your manimal thing.
Yeah, and I go off and have a sniff at this grate. Are there any signs that maybe this area has been well traveled by humanoids?
Right
Or is
now,
it just
you
through
get
its
the
grate?
overwhelming smell of Goliath piss
Stank.
from the grate. So you're talking about the big grate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it smells pretty bad. It smells like
Shit.
fluent and yeah.
Okay, but I mean, around the area, can I smell signs that there have been maybe people passing in and out of this grate, or is it just a grate full of shit?
Roll me a perception check.
Let me get the wolf up too,
Yeah.
because I believe he has different perception for that.
As
Yeah,
they're doing that,
you get
again,
advantage, I think if it's with smell or something. Check the thing. Yeah.
Wisdom perception checks. Yeah.
as they're doing that, we're drinking at the bar, and every time we take a drink, I'm putting down the money for the drink. Like, I'm not waiting till the end. So I want him to kind of giving the impression we have money to burn.
Okay, what are you
kind
drinking? Ale, or are you asking for whiskey? Or
something clear and flammable, ideally.
oh yeah, all right. So it's going to be like silver a shot. Actually, no, it's not much. No, let's say.
I mean, that's
three copper a shot.
okay.
Okay, you do this, and he's like shaking his head. And he's like, "You must have had a bad day, fellas."
No, I had a good week, to be honest. Business is good. Business is good.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So as you're doing this, Tom, do you get advantage?
Yes, I do.
Right.
Yeah. So 19.
You do smell something familiar around the gate, a scent that you have smelled before, recently.
Okay. Do I know what that is?
It's the smell of. You recognise it as the smell that people give off. It's a person's smell.
Okay.
And you recognise it, although you couldn't. It's not one of your colleagues.
No, fair enough. But there people have been passing this way. Okay. Yeah. While I'm still in wolf form, further down the alleyway, am I getting any other interesting smells?
No, just this same one.
Okay.
Just this same, this same mixed smell of people smell that you absolutely recognise, but you couldn't say who it was. But it's definitely not someone who you've been travelling with.
Okay. Shape back to human form, to elf form, and tell Davil the Goliath was right. People have been using that as some form of entryway. People have passed this way. How many, I don't know. Whom, I don't know. But it seems to be an interest of some form.
Interesting. It might be one of the things that we can do if we pretend to be drunk enough. They might try and mug us in the toilets.
Mm. Fair point.
So, yeah. Though, to be honest, it might have been an idea for you to have stayed as a wolf.
Well, coming back to the pub, might have been a bit weird.
It might have been something for you to do. It might be something for you to do in the evening.
Yeah, I've got one more for the day, so I can do it again.
I could treat you as I've got a bone somewhere that you can.
Yeah, I can come in as your pet. That's cool. I can listen to things and possibly follow people.
It is shape of a wolf. It's not shape of a Pomeranian or anything.
People I know, but
yeah, but some dogs look like wolves.
Yeah, wolves.
Yeah, wolves.
Yeah.
We actually have somebody in our village who has a Canadian timber wolf crossed with a German Shepherd. The thing is stunningly beautiful and enormous. I've never seen a dog with such big feet.
And probably scary as fuck.
Actually, it's absolutely scared of everything. It's scared of its own shadow.
Okay, so you make your way back through into the tavern. As you go in, Cammy and Jeff are on their fourth shot of dodgy Uthadurnian firewater. You're now both drunk, so you will be rolling disadvantage on all saving throws until you've managed to sober up.
Davil, I think it's time we go find somewhere to let them sleep this off for the afternoon and come back later.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to set. Yeah, we're trying to set a precedent that we are reckless and kind of careless with money and with
go up alcohol. And slap my my hand on his shoulders and say, "Come on, friend, it's time we go and hit the sack. We shall be back later for the frivolities when things get going. We can find some real people for a drinking challenge."
All right, I'm good at drinking.
There we go. Good sir, we'll be back later to fill your coffers with our money. And you say it kicks off after work, so come round about an hour after sundown.
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
You want it lively, yeah.
Do you allow pets? My friend here has a dog which didn't come with us, but may well accompany him later.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't shit everywhere.
That's fine. I'm sure it's house trained.
It's sort of mostly house trained.
Yeah,
don't worry, I've got a poop scooper.
It does fart occasionally.
That goes for the big fellow as well. Only joking. Do you want to get the good stuff in?
And they fucking splitting his sides. The funniest thing he's ever heard.
How many? Whilst we're on the discussion, how many entryways are there behind the bar to the back?
There's one door behind the bar that goes into the back area.
Okay, so we've got the exit to the toilets, the entry we came in, and one behind the bar, right?
Yes.
Any windows?
2 windows at the front.
2 windows at the front.
Filthy dirty, and they're like small panes in a sort of checker pattern.
Okay.
Outside, what's it like on the street? So there's a front to the building. Can I get round to the back of the building from the street?
You recognise from when you were out the back that the building is surrounded by the alley. It's up against the back wall, and the sewer grate was literally on the back wall. There's an alley, then the tavern, and then around it there are 2 alleys, and then the slightly broader alley out the front, which sort of serves as the street for all the buildings on that row.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's no sort of equivalent to a back door.
Yeah, the back door is when you went out to go out the back.
Oh, so that's the door to the bogs.
That is the back. Yeah, the bogs are the grate in the sewer at the back of the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no. I was trying to say there's no back door that goes into like the offices or the cellar.
Not that you saw. No.
There must be a beer loading cellar or something. I suppose it might take you through the bar.
You did see casks behind the bar, so it's entirely
Yes,
possible
they probably
bring
just
it
roll
and
and
just
break
stack it
in.
straight behind the bar. Yeah.
Oh, they don't know how to treat real beer.
No, yeah, you got that impression. It's not the nicest place. No.
It's not fucking camera.
Yeah, the dwarf
Right,
did have
let's
a
go.
big beard, but he wasn't
Okay,
going on about
Gannon.
that citrus hoppy notes.
It has a mouthfeel. So you can never see them use the word mouthfeel.
Here's an out of character DM tip. Don't use the word mouthfeel in those kind of taverns. It's never going to end well.
Right, shall we go find an inn and have a bit of a nap and wait for these
Yeah.
to sober up?
Off to the Queefing Griffin.
You going to make your way to the Creeping Griffin?
Yeah.
Okay, so
You are so silly.
you follow your way back to the main thoroughfare through the deliberation disc. You ask around, and plenty of people can point you. It's on one of the buildings, sort of immediately facing the central market square. So you can't miss it. It's you'll probably hear it before you get anywhere near it. As you make your way over, you can hear cheerful music before you even round the corner. The Griffin spills light into the street from its expansive glass windows. At the door are a pair of bored-looking humans and a heavy-built elf. You walk up and they're like, "Right, fellas, welcome in."
Well, I mean,
We're looking for lodgings for several days.
Yeah.
Are we at the right place?
Plenty of rooms here. Yeah, coming in. Just don't make any trouble. And yeah, welcome in.
Okay.
Welcome to the Griffin.
Thank you.
So,
Right.
as
Take
you
our
enter-
drunk friends in.
Yeah, you're sort of supporting Camney. You enter the Griffin and immediately realise it contains the most light you've seen since entering Uthadern. A human female is on a raised platform, reciting a tale to the accompaniment of a lute.
Oh, that could have been worse. I was expecting more.
I've
I like-
actually got something.
I start elbowing
Here we
Jeff.
go.
I'm like, fucking loot jewel, mate. Loot jewel.
That's a great idea.
As you walk in, you hear the poem she's reciting. "O wizard's staffs are long and hard, and known throughout the land. A sight to heed and fear indeed is a wizard's staff in hand.
It's got a knob on the
Now
end.
mystics have their crystal balls, and witches have their cats, and mages can look pretty cool in spiffy, sparkly, pointy hats. But a wizard's staff's his pride and joy, although the others scoff. Were I a wizard, I'd go out and proudly show mine off." And everyone goes, "Hooray!" "Oh, wizards never lend them out, it simply isn't done. Did Jester's friend this Caleb lend his staff to anyone? Now warlocks have their pentagrams and prophets have mushrooms." And she looks at you, Thokin.
Hello.
Not Thokin, Sindar. "And sages seem to get their kicks alone with books in musty rooms. But wizard staffs are their best friends, or so I've heard them say. Were I a wizard, I'd go out and use my staff today." And everyone's like, "Ray, staffs, knobs." But if a wizard loses his, he'll wish that he were dead. For a wizard will laugh at a wizard's sans staff, or one with a wand instead. It's tiny! Now sorcerers have flowing robes and witches have broomsticks, and no one seems to want to know how necromancers get their kicks. But wizard staffs are judged by length, if you believe in such. Were I a wizard, I'd go out and not amount to much. And she stands up and flourishes, and the whole bar stands up.
Like, I know I elbow Jeff again. I'm like, she's fucking well better than you, mate.
Did you actually write that, Ian?
I didn't. No, I got it. That's a Patrick Rothfuss joke.
Okay.
I thought it was Rothfuss.
Yeah.
It's either that or a wizard staff's got a knob on the end.
Yeah, I did find some takes on wizard staff and a knob on the end. They didn't really speak to me though.
Or the hedgehog can never be buggered all. It's either Pratchett or Rothfuss.
Yeah, it's the hedgehog's on maybe safe for later in the campaign. But she's put her loot away and is now gone down and is gone behind the bar. A pair of dwarves in leather aprons tend bar, and several busy barmaids dodge and weave between the tables, keeping the rowdy patrons in ale and mead avoiding grabby hands. It's definitely busier in here than it was in the Tumbling Tankards. Even coming up to midday, it's quite busy.
Okay, well, wander up to the bar and inquire how much are rooms.
Rooms for how many rooms are you after?
I don't know, guys. How many do we after?
Two.
How many? How many rooms? How much? How can you?
How many beds does each room have?
Yeah.
Are we? Hold on. Are we getting a room for what's her face as well?
No, she's staying at the.
Yeah, she's got
the monastery,
lodgings at
The
the
temple.
Yeah.
2 rooms. Yeah, Camry doesn't snore that badly.
What?
Yeah, 2 rooms.
8 silver pieces per night per room. There's 2 beds in each room, so yeah.
And can we have a meal as well, please? Finest
Yeah.
meat now.
Yeah, that's 5 silver pieces each, and we'll bring it right out for you.
Yep. Because certain of you two need to eat something to sober up.
Okay, hold on. That's 8 silver. Let me subtract some money here.
While you're asking this, the female who was performing has now come behind the bar and is serving some other people, and she notices Jeff and notices the instruments that he's carrying along with him. Hi there. My name's Hildegard. I run the Griffin. I notice you're in the business.
Yeah.
Are you here looking for work?
I missed that because I heard someone going baka baka wow wow.
Are you in Uthodurn looking to work, or are you just passing through looking for tales, or what brings you here?
We're just passing through, killing a bit of time, you know.
Okay, well, if you ever want to get up on stage, I'm sure everyone here would love to hear you.
Well, maybe later on I'll pluck my loot, and maybe on you can see me pluck my loot. You never know.
Nah, I like you. And she turns and walks off.
So with the 8 silver pieces per room and 5 pieces per head for food, it makes more sense for everybody to just subtract 9, and then 5, and then 10, 9, 4. Okay. Yeah, 9.
I was probably promised there wasn't going to be a test.
Okay, cool. Right,
okay,
this place
so
looks much
I
more
go to bed.
Behind the table. Are you going straight up?
Yeah, I take the food.
Yeah.
And I go to bed.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stay down on the bar. Anyone interesting?
I mean, there's plenty of people around. Everyone seems quite friendly, and there's loads of people around.
Anyone obviously tooled up, as it were, in any way, wearing armor or anything, or are these all commoners?
There's a few glass blades in there. There's a couple of glass blades in there. The rest of them seem to be commoners.
Okay.
I mean, you're probably the outside of the glass blades, the most tooled up in there.
Okay. Any interesting groups keeping themselves to themselves?
Not in here, no. It's definitely it's a big change from the Tumbling Tankards. Everyone seems to be fairly open. Everyone seems to be fairly trusting. No one seems to be on their guard or looking out or anything like that.
Wander around with my ale and basically occasionally barge into the odd conversation and ask about the local gossip. Being a traveler, looking for interesting news, what's been going on. Been away a long time. Trying to get them to feed me local information. Anything going on? Anything of interest?
So you get to speak to some people, and they're talking about people that you don't understand. You don't really get the context that they're talking about these people in, so it's not really useful information. You do hear from, when you speak to the glass blades that are in there, that they're aware that there's been some problems with goblins and ogres, much more than usual recently, and they ended up dispatching the garrison to Palebank early to try and shore it up. which you were already aware of that as you came in on that.
Okay.
On that
When you say goblins and ogres, do you mean goblins and ogres in this area?
No,
or up
on the route to Powerbank. Yeah.
Okay.
Up here, speaking to the people, you find that Uthodurn tends to keep pretty much to itself. The only other outside contact it really has is with Powerbank. Everything else, and there are some small enclaves in the Flotket Alps where there are some religious sites, but other than that, everything takes place within Uthodurn's walls.
Okay. Ask about the volcano.
What do you want to know about it?
Well, I mean, is it active? Is it?
It's very active. You've seen it be active. It's been belching smoke while you've been in the area. In fact, when you left the Goblin encampment, you could see it actively bellowing smoke up into the sky.
Aren't people not worried about lava? And do they have any problems this far south with it?
Uthodurn's high up enough that any of the fallout from the volcano goes down into the areas around it. It melts a lot of the glacier up there, and there are some hot, almost, they're not springs, but there's heated water and lakes up there where there isn't anything else like that in the Flotket Alps, simply because of the lava coming off the mountain.
Have the goblins and ogres moved into this area? Are they known to be using the warmth to encroach upon your area?
Not that anyone here knows, no. They just know that they've been attacking the caravans going to Powerbank.
Okay. Has the volcano been more active in recent times?
Not that anyone can say, no.
Okay, cool.
Well, I've just finished off my food and I'm like, right, I need a nap now. So I go to bed.
Okay, so let's just dabble Pandak and Sindan down in the bar.
Alright.
Is anything really happening in the bar?
Hildegard gets up and does a couple more, plays some more music. People seem to be enjoying themselves. People come in, people are leaving, maybe to go and start a late shift or coming off an early one. Nothing untoward, no.
Okay, so it's just a boring crowd, basically. Anything interesting on the crowd, Pete? On the crowd?
No.
Anybody look, dodgy?
No one looks dodgy. In fact, everyone looks pretty much on the level, like legitimately good people. The only person who's really exuberant is Hildegard herself. She seems to be the focus of everyone's attention, and she kind of likes it that way. You get the impression.
I'm gonna go up to the room, and I'm gonna use what I can to change my appearance a little bit. I want to appear not less druidy, but maybe a little bit more magey. So maybe I look like a slightly down on my luck magic user.
Have you got a disguise kit?
No, but maybe ditch the antlers for now.
I mean, you can tidy up a bit if you want. Give me a
have a bath.
Yeah.
Give me a performance check.
Oh god, this is not going to go well.
Hang on, let me have a look at your character sheet. What's the best check for this? So this is a... Yes, performance check. No, I mean...
No, fair enough. I basically try and part the hair, but it doesn't work very well. And basically, sort of, I look more disheveled than I actually started.
It down, and you hold it down, and then you let go, and it straight back up again.
Fair enough. I've got COVID hair, and I'm just going to stick with it. Yeah. All right. I give up on that idea. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm just going to head up and have a nap so that I'm ready for the evening.
Okay.
Okay. So it's about, what, we wait until about 7?
Yeah, if you want to.
Can we use this as an excuse to have
a couple of hours after
break?
Sundown?
Yeah.
Quick break so I can use the loop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to go and refill, so I'll be back in a minute as well.
Cool.
Okay, I'll go and grab a beer in a sec as well.
I shall go boil the kettle.
I'll go have an existential crisis.
What? Oh.
Please don't.
to get back.
Yeah, the goal of are we still streaming?
Yeah, we're still live.
I don't want to give the game away
Yeah.
to our devoted fans. Now the plan is to try and get rid of the axe, get shield, and ideally a spear. And kind of really lean into the tanking. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is the reason for leaning into fighter. Get feats for days. Get sentinel sorted out. And because with the errata on D&D 5e, they spear now is included in sentinel, I think so.
Okay. Yep.
Which is one-handed, so it's like the only one that you can one-hand have a shield and still get sentinel. So.
Yeah, no problem.
No, I ended up going for an extra on the wisdom and my dex, which has improved my shillelagh because of the wisdom. So now I get a really nice bonus on that. But it has unfortunately made my scimitar more useful than my quarterstaff. So it'll be interesting.
Dedication to roleplay, that's the only thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So.
I think we might not go the full 3 hours on this one.
No, that's cool. Everybody's no, I get that. That's cool.
Mostly because I've got this story going, but you might come to a point where I'm going to want Phil involved to drive his character and drive the decisions. So.
Yeah,
well, he used to live here, didn't he? So effectively, it's home turf for him.
Yeah. You'd get a lot of inside information, which
I
don't want to just feed you, but I would
no, that makes sense. No, that's cool.
It's nice to get back in anyway. It's only been 2 weeks, but it felt like a lot longer.
Yeah.
I've been missing this, to be honest. So I really look forward to this on a Sunday. Because there ain't a whole hell of a lot else to look forward to.
I know we mentioned about doing like a midweek one this week gone that we didn't do. If you wanna, I'd be up for one this week if you wanna to get a little bit more fleshing out before Sunday session.
What I was aiming for was to sort of get you to this point, maybe a little bit earlier in this story than this point on that midweek session, just to get you to Uthadern, find what's there, this being one of the things that is there that you could have stumbled across, and then get you on the path and then say, right, stop, and then go into Sunday, starting that, and then maps and stuff. But I mean, I do have stuff, but again, I don't want to run it without Phil there.
Yeah,
I saw some of your Twitter stuff on the new apps that you've downloaded for map drawing. How are they working out? Incarnate's
really good, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing most of the mapping in. I've been trying to put a map together for Uthadern, and it's really difficult. Uthadern, I mean, as you can see from the description, is fairly unique.
Yeah.
And the tools I've got, it's really hard to map it and make it look good. I'm trying.
It's gritty, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got nothing at the moment that I'm willing to put in front of anyone. But I'm going to continue working on that, and hopefully I can get one that's passable for next week, so you can get an idea of what it looks like and navigate around a bit more. But for right now, Theatre of the Mind. Ooh.
If you're interested, by the way, I've got a bunch of city maps, which are in black and white, which you could scan in and then use as overlays if you ever wanted them. And I've got like 20 of them, and they vary in size from hamlet to mega city.
Oh, and I wouldn't use them directly because I've sort of set the standard now with it being full color HD maps. So I might use them as inspiration, but I don't think I'm using
Fair
them.
enough. That's cool.
I think if I ever dropped a map on you and it was like pencil lines and scary monster, you'd be like, "Come on, Ian, put the effort in."
Well, like early days Critical Role, where it's just like a pencil line and a bit of plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Which is absolutely fine, honestly. I think I've sort of made for rock my own back now.
Well,
doing all the
you have set a fairly high bar now, so
yeah. So I've got to carry on doing that. And for small-ish villages and towns, it's actually pretty easy. It's the big ones like Uthadern, and Uthadern's got such a unique layout as well. It's really difficult to model.
It's creating that precedent, because like it's one thing to like if it's like a little town square that's in a big city, that's fairly straightforward. But it's like then the group decides to go one way, and you're like, holy shit, I didn't map that bit. Like, so you're gonna have to make that bit up in your head, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
well, like I said, I've got notes of stuff that exists in Uthadern, and I don't have a map now, so I can't say boop, it's there, but I can say yes, you find the Queefing Griffin. So yeah, so you've stumbled down from, well, you're all a bit more refreshed. Camney and Jeff, give me a Constitution saving throw.
good at those.
How drunk are you?
I'm still hammered. Brilliant.
Yeah. No, you're not. You still feel fairly drunk, but you've also got the makings of a really nasty headache coming on. Camney,
is this a B-side headache?
You shrugged it off. You're feeling fine and chipper and ready to greet the evening.
Cool.
So yeah, you're still rolling with disadvantage, Jeff.
It's all right.
All right. Are we headed towards the other bar then?
Yeah.
I suggest on the way we stop in an alleyway, and I shall transform into a dog.
Do we want to strategize?
Have we got a collar?
I am not wearing a collar for you.
So
wear a collar for anybody, but yeah, never mind. Yeah, change the subject. Yeah, let's strategize.
So I'm thinking we want to try and bait people who at least are low level criminals that we can then squeeze to move up the chain a bit and find perhaps who would be responsible for stealing the artifacts from the temple.
I turn to Davil. Are you looking to join the guild, or are we looking to sort of... I mean, if you're looking to join the guild, there may be a point at which point we back off. I know how such things work. I've been around a while, so...
It depends on what it's like, and they won't just offer a job immediately.
No, I get that, but...
It would be difficult, so contact would have to be made.
Okay.
I'd expect to see some talking, so maybe if I just sit in the corner and go quiet, it might be because I'm looking out for things.
Okay. Cool.
My plan is up front to get a bottle of that like crap fire water they have. Hold on to the bottle, go for a wee, empty it out, fill it from my water skin, and then act like we're fucking necking it in the bar. But clearly we're not actually going to be drunk.
Okay.
And drinking a shot in that water might help Jeff's hangover.
Note that I can only maintain the dog shape for 2 hours.
That's fine.
That's fine. You can always bugger off and come back as you.
Yeah. No, that's a fair point.
Don't do it in the middle of the bar, okay?
No, yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Maybe we need a distraction.
Right, so you make your way over to the tankards again.
Okay. Shape of a dog.
You turn into a lassie.
Yeah.
And you make your way inside. It's still quiet. There's still only that same dwarf behind the bar. There's a few more dwarves in. Woof. No signs of the humans you saw earlier, but in fact the dwarves you saw earlier aren't there either. But there were a few more dwarves in there than there were before. And again, everyone seems to be keeping to themselves. And the barman looks up and says, "Oh, you're back. How's your head?"
My friend. Yeah, great. And I'll go up to the bar and I'm like, I'll have a bottle of that stuff you gave us earlier.
Great. And he gets in, pours it out, dusts it off. There you go, chap. Take care.
Wonderful. And I go.
All round, in fact, we've got quite a bit to celebrate.
Yeah, we'll have 4 beers, and I'll also have 4 glasses for this fire water.
Right.
This place is really good for some things.
Yeah.
Have one yourself as well.
Mm.
Oh yeah, cheers, governor.
Join us.
I don't drink on the job, but I'll put one behind the bar, thanks. And he starts getting everything together. The table you were in before is still free if you want to go and make your way over to that.
Yeah.
Is there now a barmaid?
Nope, just him.
Okay.
It's just this dude.
Cool, that makes life easier.
No, just him.
Cool.
So he pops the stuff down. He says, there you go, enjoy your evening. Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm like, yeah.
What is it you're celebrating then?
You know, it's adventuring work. It pays well.
And occasionally you come back, and some places are so much more profitable when you have a good deal. And yeah, let's just say, pays well sometimes.
All right.
Yeah.
You got any? You're trying to move anything? Maybe you got stuff you wanna.
It depends. I mean, what can you move for us?
Pretty much anything you want, to be honest.
So if I had some, magical item, I need to get rid of them. We're talking like religious ones here. Without pissing off a temple, okay? People can't hear about it.
Okay. Run that by me one more time.
I'm just going to say it's repeated again, but in thieves speak.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to do that. It's a hand gestures, isn't it? The thieves speak.
Yes. Yeah. Thieves can. It's
Thieves
a language
can,
and gestures and sort of stuff. And
I'm just going to start. I'm going to repeat it again.
Cockney sign language.
I'm going to start doing the signs as well.
He replies back to you in Thieves Cant. They already offered those to me. I told them to piss off. You bought them then?
Yes. I like elbow and dabble like.
Well, we did. No, it's not. Who offered something? I mean, these were taken from outside. Is somebody else trying to muscle in our territory again?
Well, he says, I'm not giving you any names, but you're not the first people trying to move religious stuff in here. I don't mind moving most stuff, but I ain't pissing off the gods.
Oh man. Okay. We'll have to look elsewhere. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of places around that will move this stuff on.
Yeah, just be careful.
Are you still talking in Thieves' Cant right now?
As far as I'm aware, it's still in Thieves' Cant. Yeah.
We're still talking Thieves'
So I'm just like, huh?
Yeah.
Like I know
It's a bit of.
really sure I understand basic.
It's like that loony from
speech.
Channel 4. The Channel 4 horse racing guy just going.
I thought it's like Cockney sign language.
What over the? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apples and pears, half a donkey.
Up and down.
Over there.
Demonetized.
And lo, Andrew is summoned. No.
Pikachu.
Yeah.
So
okay,
once
he
going
goes
to be
back
like,
off to the bar.
Yeah, while this is going on, I pick up the fire water and I like making out like I'm swinging it, but I'm actually just backwashing it and walk out into the alleyway like to go to the loo. Is the alleyway empty?
Yeah.
Okay, I very quickly just pour the fire water down the grate and fill the bottle from my water skin.
Right, we've got a problem.
Wander back in.
I'm going to talk to you lot when you come back. We've got a problem here.
I wander back into the table. I assume that's where we're all sitting now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to talk quietly. Somebody's already tried to. Forgot the bloody word. What's the word?
Somebody should have fenced it.
That's the word. Fence. Somebody's already tried to fence us.
Fence the two artifacts.
Yeah, and he refused them. But he won't tell us who they are.
I mean, if they know he's a fence, presumably they came to sell to him because they know he's a fence.
Yeah,
then
they refused.
Then potentially they're regulars.
Yeah, so we can still wait and follow the original plan. It looks like he's not in on the deal. He basically went, he's not handling religious crap, and I believe him.
As a wolf, I'd like to wander around the bar, gently sniffing. Do I recognize any of the scents of anyone in this room other than the lead barman?
Give me a perception check.
Which is wisdom. Oh wait a minute! No, I actually have a perception. Hold on. There we go. Perception.
Right. So you have a sniff around. People are not happy at you, and you get a few shouts back to the table. Oi, mate, look after your pet, will you?
Just give him a biscuit. It'll be fine.
He's just on the scrounge. Don't worry, he'll be fine. Just give him a good pet. He likes to be rubbed on the haunches.
He's friendly.
Yeah, one of the dwarves sort of looks at him and goes to give you a scratching, Sindan. And as you walk up to the table, you notice the smell around this table. It's not coming from the people that are sat there now, but the smell that you recognised earlier in the alley, you can smell around this table.
Okay, I let him scratch me on the ear and basically do the thing, and then wander back to the table.
Okay.
And then place my head on Davil's knee and go, woof.
Well, that's the moment of the evening, isn't it?
Yeah. And Davil's like, yeah, we're not that kind of friends.
And that's the title of this episode.
I'm just going to go, oh, what have you eaten? I think you need to go outside. Oh, bloody hell. Who's fed him that rabbit meat again? Wine. So I shall go, come on, boy, let's go outside. Let's get everything done.
Okay. Out round the corner, I shall change back into druid form. Right.
Wait, we will check that there's no witnesses.
Yeah,
first.
alright, yeah.
Some dude's just in the alleyway like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's no one.
And if there is a witness, he's probably going to go.
Alright, it doesn't seem that the people who used the grate are still in the bar, but they were sat where those dwarves were sat. So if we can get information about who was in there, we may be able to
recognise the table those dwarves were at with the table the humans were at earlier in the day.
The humans, okay?
Yeah.
Alright, so
and the humans.
Yes, and they look like commoners, so they're not tooled up. Could we recognize these people easily?
Yeah, you'd recognize them again if you saw them.
Okay. So those are the people that we're after. Yeah, I can go back into the bar. We can we sent the dog home, and move on from here.
Okay.
Certain whether we're going to get anywhere in this bar tonight unless they come back.
No, I'm not certain either.
I might leave them a message on the actual bar. I assume
you can leave messages in Thief Can. Yeah.
Yeah, so I might. What I might do is I'll go back into the bar and I'll drink and I'll wait for the dwarves to leave, and then I'm going to just nip over to the table and I'll leave them a message.
Okay, so you spend the next hour or so in there. A couple of humans do come in. They're not the ones you're after. After about an hour or so, the dwarves get up and leave, and then that table is now free. So
I'm just going to say, hey, let's go into that one as well, because Camden's getting a bit too drunk now. So I'm going to invite shit, I've forgotten Tom's name.
Sindan.
I'm going to say, Sindan, come over here. Let's go over there. Those two are too wankered now.
I'm like, that's fine. I don't need you.
Okay.
I'm going to use Sindan to sort of try and block it whilst I just carve underneath. It's like it's something like meet here, sundown tomorrow.
Okay.
Is there a date that I can put on instead of tomorrow? I don't know how dates work in this world.
There is. Let's say you know what the date is. I do have it somewhere, but
So
I don't have it.
Date. Meet here.
Date plus one.
Down. Date equals date plus one.
Date equals date plus. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, date plus. There we are.
Yeah.
So
we're ANSI compliant around here.
ISO 8, 9 something.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
if you had known that by heart, then I would have called you a sad man.
Yeah. But it's the only way to do dates, bro. Got to have a Z in it.
You must be
for
so
finding on the date format not being ISO compliant.
Yeah.
If that's the only way you date, then that explains why you're single.
What can I say? You know, if she's not ISO compliant, I'm not interested.
That's very true.
You need an auditable, verifiable auditable noise.
Have PwC been round?
Yeah. process.
So
anyway,
in my full drunk state, I kind of wander up to the bar and like slam my hand in the bar. I'm like, really good barman you are. Like very drunk, playing up very drunk.
I love you like a bloke that I love.
Yeah. We're trying to sell some stuff. Yeah.
Calm down, mate. Your friend already. We've spoken about it, right? Just you know.
Yeah.
We try to be subtle, right? Subtle.
What is this word you speak of?
You see what you were doing there with the shouting?
Yeah.
That's not subtle.
Oh.
Right. We don't say the actual words. We say words like the words, right?
Okay.
And we say them
you teach me.
Can I go back to being a dog?
And he looks sort of past you to Davil, and signals over. Yeah. Come and get your friend.
Come on, Camney.
I'm so close to getting this dude to teach me thieves' cant. Don't ruin this.
I think this is possibly not the right time. So come on, let's get you back. Let's get you back.
So you're taking him back to the table, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to take you back to the table. It's
I'm absolutely not drunk at this point because he's been drinking water. So
right, you. I don't know whether it's worthwhile me trying to go around the back and seeing what's in there. I don't think that'd happen. I don't think.
I mean, if you want to look, I can definitely distract him.
We know he. The thing is, he won't keep records.
And the thing is also we seem to have a point of contact. If we ruin that, we may lose what we have. So
I don't think it's worth the risk. I think we should possibly just have a couple of beers, do it. I've left a message for them for tomorrow to meet us at sundown tomorrow.
Devil, can you give me an insight check?
Insight, but not insight.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what that is because that window wasn't on top.
So you definitely know that this guy is definitely got connections to the underworld. You get the impression that he's more of a fixer than he is a doer. So you're thinking that you probably won't find what you're after here. In fact, you probably won't find anything here.
Right.
But this guy's more of a point of contact.
Are you still at the table with me?
Sorry?
Are you still over by the table with me, Devil?
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get much from here. The only other thing we can do is to try and make ourselves seen.
Or, I mean, see if you can figure it. See if you can get any other fences information from him. See if you can find out if there are any other fences in the city. People with less scruples. He might not give it to.
I'll try.
Yeah. It might be a good place to start if these people don't come back. You know, because if they came here to try and sell to him, and he said no, they might not come back.
Right. I'll head over.
Okay.
So I'll order another beer, and then I'll say another one for you as well. Right. You know what, my conundrum. I know that you won't touch the goods. You know this area better than me. Who else can I go to?
I mean, come on, mate. Professional courtesy. I'm not gonna start hooking you up with my competitors, especially if you're going to be wanting to get in touch with people who have got a lot less scruples than I do. I don't want you bringing that trouble down on me when I've already gone out of my way to keep away from it. If you want my advice, if you bought these things and you are trying to sell them on, then don't do it in Uthodurn.
He's just a dodgy pawnbroker.
So, yeah.
I mean, they probably figured you were an easy mark, what with you throwing the monies around while you're in here. So, yeah, I can understand why they'd sell them to you. But if you think you can shift them in here, they didn't manage to do it, and they've been spending their old worthless lives around here.
What, around the area? So if I want to show that I'm not happy with them, they're around here. I'll recognise it when I see them.
Yeah, I mean...
Obviously not in here, because I don't want to get you into trouble.
If you want to make your displeasure known to the little scraps that sold you these things, then yeah, by all means, just don't do it near here, and don't do it in front of the glass plates.
Right. And which areas do the glass blades know, so I can avoid them?
Glass blades are everywhere, mate.
Fuck it.
Why, they tend to stay away from here because, you know, we try and keep our nose clean down here. We don't make trouble, so we don't give them cause to patrol down here. Certainly, no one important lives down here, so they tend to leave us alone. But only because we stay out of trouble. If you stop making trouble, they're going to start coming down here.
Yeah.
And that affects my bottom line.
I understand.
Right, chaps. I think we just head back to the Queefing Griffin.
We're gonna get
I've got a plan anyway. So yeah, let's head back.
Okay.
Are there still people at the bar at the Queefing Griffin?
Yeah, you make your way back in there, and it's if anything, it's even more rowdy and loud than it was when you were in earlier. So you thought it was quite a loud place at lunchtime, but now we're into the evening. There's a couple of bards up on the stage singing and playing, and there's plenty of people on the tables banging along with their tankards to the beat of the songs as they're singing.
Scan the room and find the drunkest lot of town guards of the Blades. Find the biggest, drunkest group of them.
You don't actually see any glass blades in there. It's all common folk. You don't see anyone in uniform.
Okay.
I mean, you probably think that maybe some of them are glass blades, but they're not on duty, so they're not.
Any of them more well built than average commoners, or more well fed, well kept?
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. Investigation. Oh dear. Oh, huzzah!
There is a group of elves and dwarves. I mean, the dwarves generally are well built anyway, generally just from their genetics. But with them are a pair of elves who also seem, for elves, pretty swole.
Okay. Go over and
they're sort of at the table near the front of the stage.
Okay. Make my way over to the table. Do they seem a conjovial lot? Are they friendly enough? Might I sit with them?
Yeah, they seem...
Okay.
You can approach them if you like. They seem friendly enough.
Okay. I offer to buy them a round of cheap beer. And basically ask... I say that I'm new in town. Ask what they do for a living, what they do for fun in town.
Yeah. Welcome to join us. We'll certainly take your ale from you.
Okay.
Funny town, we come in here.
Okay. And what do you do for a living, if I might ask? I'm possibly looking for local work.
We make sure people don't have too much fun, don't we, lads? And they go, yeah.
Oh, you part of the Blades?
Yeah, we try and keep the peace around here.
We came with your lot from the north on the caravan. I don't know if they told you or not, but
You came in from Palebank.
Yeah. So
okay. How's it doing?
We owe you guys.
I heard that they were having some trouble.
Oh, they've got problems with goblins and all sorts of nasty things. So they had to sort of relieve the local guard and reinforce. It's a bit crazy up there. I have to admit, we owe you guys a good favor for getting us down here safe. On that note,
it's a bit cold for me. I prefer it down here. I'm glad I didn't get rotated onto that ship, but yeah.
So I bet you guys have some stories about this place. Where the bad guys are and what they get up to. So
Yeah, there's enough to keep us busy. Yeah, most people keep in line though, and anyone who tries it, we crack some skulls, put them in the stockade for a few nights. That usually sorts them out.
Any known characters?
I mean, yeah, fair few of them.
Oh, and who should I avoid?
Well, I don't really like to. When they're punished, they've served their time, and.
Oh, so no repeat offenders then.
Well, but we keep an eye on them, so you don't have to, good sir. And I wouldn't want to go and put any more pressure on them than we already give them by throwing their names in out willy nilly. If you see what I mean. Don't worry. We know where they are. We'll take care of them. You don't need to worry about your coin.
Well, I've already been warned about one of the bars. Something about the tankards or something. Yeah, I've been told that place is full of.
Yeah, too many tankards. Yeah, I mean, they keep to themselves. They generally don't make too much fuss, but I wouldn't go in there and leave my coin purse unguarded if I were you.
Oh, I see. So is that the salubrious end of town?
Yeah, definitely. You're much better off in here. Yeah, you definitely should be glad you landed in here. The tankards is. I mean, it's just not got the atmosphere, and the people in there. They're going to be, if they're not trying to rob you blind, they're trying to sell you stuff that they've lifted from the market or other people. You don't want to be messing with that lot.
But surely, if you know who they are, you can go and round them up and clear all this up, or are they more organized, or do they seem to be able to elude you in some way?
Are you saying that in an insulting type of
no?
way?
No. I sort of. I'm asking, sort of, how are they getting away? Basically, you guys seem so well organized and thorough. We've seen your work on the caravan and how you basically save Palebank. I'm just intrigued how something so organized as this city could have any crime. I wouldn't have thought you could run very far for a start.
I mean, there's definitely places people can go to hide. I mean, there's only so many of us. There is only so many of us, and we are sort of mixed between police and army functions. We know who the petty ones are, and we keep an eye on them. And if they get out of line, then we'll go and round them up and deal with them. But there's only so many of us to do it, so we do our best.
Oh, is there any way I can help, possibly? Can I make a persuasion to sort of encourage that I'm on their side, but a well-meaning citizen, but not a vigilante?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, persuasion check.
Oh dear God.
Well, we can always sign up. We'll work you. Yeah.
Gents, I actually will consider that, but for now, I accept my drink offer of a drink as my thanks. I shall go and rejoin my friends, but you guys have a good night there.
Thank you very much. You keep safe.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, local guards are going to tell us much, guys. I'm afraid they seem to want to keep their mouths shut, but the area that we were in seems to be the salubrious part of town. But that's about all I got out of them. We seem to know that already, so I'm not certain we're going to get it.
We're drawing a big pattern out from sides of the city.
Yeah, I mean, no mention of big fish, no mention of organized crime or people that run things. You would think that they might mention if they were a little tipsy, but sorry, couldn't get anything out of them.
So
go through a tour through the sewers.
Well, I talked to turn to Davil, and I'm like, up in the mountains in Goliath culture, good hunting grounds and places to fish and places to sleep and stuff, we tend to leave a mark. It's fairly rudimentary. Just an indicator. Your whatever that was you were speaking to the barman earlier on seems a lot more sophisticated than that. You left a message on the table. Yeah. Is it likely that those similar kind of messages are around town? Are there going to be indicators?
I can look for different places. I suppose go back to that area and try and find another bar or somewhere down there.
I'm thinking like on the walls and things like, maybe an indicator of places.
Sign.
We can try going back down. Do you want to pretend to be drunk again anyway?
Gladly. I'll still have that bottle of firewater. I'm like pretend like glugging it.
I reckon it's about time we hear from the bard. I reckon we should get up there and strut his stuff and maybe convince some of these people that we are the good guys.
Something crude.
I don't know, guys. You're all speaking way too loud. That freaking firewater's done me in. I can hear my bum twitching. Jesus.
I'm like feeding you swigs of this firewater bottle, but it's just water. So like slowly helping you out.
He's definitely taking a green tinge.
One of the things we can do is to make ourselves a target and then interrogate. But that's going to attract muggers. But whether the muggers are the same underworld, it all depends on the group.
Yeah, and we have to remember not to kill them, but to subdue them.
And also, we're going to become known to the glass blades if we do.
Yeah, and here's the thing: that axe that you've got, it's going to be difficult to subdue anybody.
Yeah, I don't think that's the best idea at this current moment in time. We can try going back tomorrow. We can try having a look around, but I want people to get my back.
I think now might be a good time to call the evening.
Okay.
Because I think you're in a good point where you want to decide what you want to do next, and I think it might be good to have built around to pilot his character, especially as you seem to be wanting to go down a more active path.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay. No,
having a full group might bring some ideas.
Yeah. I'm on board.
Yep. That's cool. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice to get Phil to watch back what happened and just see if he picked up on anything you may not have, or if he's got any ideas to try that you haven't thought of that you can do.
Well, if he's got local advantage, he may know things that we don't. So.
Yes. Yeah. I'm more willing to answer questions that he asks based on his local knowledge than yourselves, because you literally don't know.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
And it's on 10, so yeah.
It has been 10, so we have been going for a couple of hours, so I think that's a good place to stop it.
Cool.
Sweet.
Thank you very much for another game. So what are we calling this one? Is this Loving Woof or what?
Rub my belly.
Does anybody know about breaching the storage layer of Android things?
Depends. Are we still being recorded?